everybody. Welcome to Coding with Sam. That's Sam right next to me.
Oh, you pointed that way, but like I'm on that side of you on my screen. I don't know.
Oh,
it's probably backwards for like
Anya.
everybody that watches it.
Am I pointing the right way? Quick
Now
poll.
you are.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday, Thursday night. I don't know what time it is where you guys are. We're in the East Coast of the United States, and I am here with Sam, who's in Florida. I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah, this is Coding with Sam. Sam, what is Coding with Sam? Just a quick overview.
Quick overview. If you are not a coder and you want to try to customize some things on your site, this is the spot for you.
And today is a cool one because so far we've been doing functionality, backend, kind of using PHP, which is the language that most of WordPress, most of Paid Memberships Pro is coded in. But what are we doing today, Sam?
We're going to play with some CSS today.
I didn't want to interrupt the coffee sip. That's really necessary.
This has been a little crazy with some animals drama in this house. So yes, coffee's a must. And speaking of animal, he's right here. Stuck.
Yeah. So more CSS today than our usual. Yes, you're going to be fine. So CSS is the language. It's a style sheets, if you've heard of those, or CSS. It's the coding language that adds that design layer on top of the functionality of your membership site. So if you're using Paid Memberships Pro, hopefully you're on the latest releases, 3.4.1. But as of 3.1, we added a lot more styling and visual stuff to Paid Memberships Pro. Oh, they released another one? Okay, sorry. I got to keep up.
I'm pretty sure we're at 0.2.
Okay, nice. Oh, Sensible Senko said, coffee, Sam, how could you? Are you a tea drinker? I'm an afternoon tea drinker.
Sensible Senko, I learned this in the community this past week. He actually like cut coffee completely, and like that was something that like ChatGPT helped him do. I think that was where the conversation was going, and so like good for you. I'm not on that level. Okay.
You heard Sam mention community. We do have a free Slack community. If Slack is something you've used before, you're interested to check it out, go to our website, paymembershipspro/Slack. If you have a free account with us or higher, you just have to create a free account, and then you can get into that community, talk about quitting coffee, and talk about Paid Memberships Pro and running a membership site. So
and animals. We talk about animals too.
Oh, we do. Here's the screen. This is the content we're going to go through today. Yeah, I'll let Sam take it over because I tend to talk too much.
No, you don't. You're fine. So today we're going to talk about kind of another way where you can tease your premium content. We already have basic logic in Paid Memberships Pro Core where you can either hide or show the excerpts of your posts for premium content to members and non-members. So you get to kind of decide that. But this will add just another layer of kind of making it a little bit more fancy when you have that premium content that is hidden. So I will actually go down to our screenshots that we have. So this is the before we add the code. And this is actually an older screenshot. This is showing the old style of our restricted content message. Those are now changed. So when I do this, these screenshots will be updated. But this shows the full excerpt. What we're going to be adding is kind of fading out and blurring that excerpt. So it's like, oh, you can probably read maybe 3-4 lines of this, but after that, you don't get much. So you really have to either log in or join to read the full thing. And that's what we're going to be throwing in the CSS. Now, I have only dabbled a little bit in CSS, and it's been very, very guided by Kim and ChatGPT of where this even goes. So we're going to do our best. I'm
going to find the link. We have an article about customizing with CSS. And the reason you say like where this goes, it's going to be different for everyone, for every theme, for every page builder you might be using. There's going to be a different way that you can put CSS in your membership site. So I'm going to see how far you get without me chiming in, and then I will help.
Okay. So I know that I'm going to have to copy this here. And I also have on my Coding with Sam site, I have pulled up a blog post that I have. Now with my membership access, I do see this full post. But if I use the view as bar and say without membership access, we will see our membership required block. So this view here is what is going to be changing when we have the CSS in place. So if I do this correctly, if I go to customize on the toolbar and I do add additional CSS.
Okay, I'm going to go. You got this.
Well, okay. The one thing that I don't know is like, if I just paste this in, is this going to work? I added a new line and I just paste this in. This is actually CSS that I added with ChatGPT for my header and it worked. I even added like a text shadow to that way you could see the coding with Sam pop out a little bit more of the background. So I think, I mean, it does display here, so it does work. But interesting. It also is kind of fading this box.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. So how do we undo that? Because it's fading the excerpt and then it's normal and then it's fading the membership required box.
We have to get more specific with our CSS. I'm going to look at code, but I'm also going to. I think I know what we could do. All right. Do you want me to help or do we want to try to use AI? Do you want to try to use AI?
I can try to use AI. Okay. So I already have that copied. Yep. Let's go to ChatGPT. And the question I have, though, is what am I specifically asking ChatGPT? So I need to customize this. I need to be more specific, but I don't want the membership required block to be included.
If you didn't have Kim to help you with this, what I would do is I would inspect you can publish this and go back to just outside of customizer view and come back in later, but I'm going to show you guys how to use the inspector to get a snippet of the source code of your page. And what that's going to do is help ChatGPT see the full markup of the page and know what selectors it can target. So I would take everything in like entry content there and copy that to your clipboard.
Entry content.
Or actually go all the way to the article because that's where the PM Pro No Access selector is. So if you go to the article.
With my access?
You can view it without, like it is right now is what you want. So go back to the inspector. And this is like developer tools. It's part of most browser experiences. Sam uses Chrome. If you're using Safari, you may also have this. Do you see the article tag a few lines above where your cursor is? Yep. Now, if you right click, you're going to get a thing like copy outer HTML, something like that. And that's going to put all the HTML of that entire section of your code into your clipboard.
Learn something new today.
And then I would, underneath this, I would put the CSS also and say something like, I have CSS. It's supposed to blur just the paragraph within this, but it's also targeting my membership required message. What should I do? I like when we can show how we would use AI and I can kind of, and you would naturally have done this too, Sam. I'm sure when you did that header text, you also said, I want to make it stand out on a dark background. What can I do? And it gave you some suggestions for that. Or maybe you even said like, I know that I want a text shadow here.
Yeah, that one I was like, I don't remember exactly my prompt. I'm sure I could find it, but it was like a lot of back and forth of like, here's what I have. What can I do? Here's what I have. What can I do?
And CSS is very low risk in terms of I'm scared to customize my membership site with PHP. I'm scared to go into my database and make a bulk update. CSS is probably the smallest potential harm that you can do. And as quickly as Sam added that code to the customizer's additional CSS section, it could be removed and your site would be resolved. So it's cool that we're going to get to play around with this a little bit. We might have some back and forth. This is not going to be the 15-minute coding Sam like usual.
That's okay.
And I'll talk quickly just for people listening while Sam chats with Chippy about the CSS. This is a classic theme that Sam is using. It's our member light theme. we have a blog post about types of themes. Classic is what we had prior to the block editor really making its maturity with WordPress. Then there is something called a block theme, which is a theme fully built for the block editor that has its own unique way to do CSS. At the end, we can pop in, swap your theme quick and show where that would be done. And then there's also taking the first paragraph. I wondered if it would do that or use a not selector. I would have used a not selector. And then there's a hybrid theme, which may have the customizers CSS section available, but it may also have the block editors, site editor CSS available. And
right, well,
I think there's also, I think page builders are going to have a CSS customize section, just depending on which you're using. And then I think Code Snippets, the pro version, has the ability to add CSS as well. Yeah,
okay,
that works.
So that did work. What ChatGPT did was inputted a, let's see, what is it called? Don't tell me again. A property. No, that's the property.
I would call it a selector.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know that that's the actual, that's probably the right word. It's selecting the element with that.
Well, they're saying that this is a property.
Hi, yep. Well, we got a bad cat.
Sorry, he's eating cords.
Uh-oh, don't do that.
Get a cat, they said. It'd be fun, they said. This week has been crazy. Okay. So what ChatGPT told me for my blog post, and this could be incorrect because I actually did not fact check ChatGPT like I should have. This is what they're saying is the property, and these would be targets.
Yeah, like targeting. I would say I don't know. You guys, anyone here a developer? Would you say, is it a select or front end developer? I guess I'll say. Would you say it's a CSS selector? That's kind of what I call them.
But that did work. Now, you were saying that you would have used a
not.
Okay,
so ask ChatGPT, say, could we do this instead using the not pseudo selector? I guess you would call it. Yeah. I was going to call you out, Matt. I know.
Not like NOT.
Matt, you're a developer. Yep.
Not pseudo?
Pseudo selector, yeah.
Don't judge me for my spelling, guys. You can use not to include P and Pro card from being affected.
That's probably what I would have done, only because the way that ChatGPT had you rewrite it, it was targeting the very first paragraph descendant of the entry content div. So we have the div with entry content, and we said, okay, just get the very next paragraph. But there's a potential case that your theme may have multiple paragraphs within the excerpt and be formatting it. It lets, like in our site, for example, Sam, our excerpts of our blog posts, everything before that more tag, it has multiple paragraphs. So this CSS would only target the very first paragraph descendant. But if we use a not selector, it's going to say, find me all the paragraphs in this article, except the ones that are within my no access.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. So this is probably the better way to go. And this is the way we should update our code recipe.
Yep. I would say.
Cool. Well, that didn't take as long as we thought. Now, one thing I did have on the post that I wanted to try out was we also have a fun little way of taking it further. And I did read, when I was updating this, I did read some of the aspects that you can change on in the linear gradient information to change this. So the one that I remember that I was like, oh, this would be cool to try is to top. We can do to top, to bottom, to right, or to left. Apparently.
Gavin has a much better idea, Sam. Rainbow.
Oh, rainbow. Okay.
It's going to be many.
You want to get me some numbers to throw in there for a rainbow, Gavin?
You can also ask Pippi. But yeah, let's do what you're going to do this by hand. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So what if I do to bottom? So this kind of fades the top line, which that's a little silly. But what if we wanted, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because your style of what's on your site might be different than what we have on Nix.
Uh-oh.
This cat is going to be trouble. To the right also doesn't really make sense, but we could do, if we did to the left, you can still kind of see a little bit of what it is. That's just another fun thing. Okay, now rainbow gradient. Let's ask ChatGPT for a rainbow gradient. All right.
I love the customizer, and I know it's not part of a block theme, and it's not going to probably stay as part of modern WordPress and the direction of it, but I love that you can immediately see the impact directly as you're editing it. I don't get that same effect when I'm using the site editor's additional CSS, so it's kind of sad that we're going to eventually say goodbye to Customizer. RIP Customizer.
Bonus.
Let's see.
Oh, you could do the text itself, or you could do the numbers. We'll do the numbers.
I wonder what that'll do. It's fun to play around.
But did it give me? Yeah, okay. It gave me all of it. So let me go from line 9 down. Let's do this.
I think you have to also do the text, or else it's going to, because the text itself has a color.
Oh, really? So should I just uncomment that? Like if I uncomment that, will that work?
No, I think what ChatGPT said is what you really want.
The bonus here.
Or maybe some combination of the two. We'll see. Let's see what it does. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Wow.
Some combination of the two would make the text rainbow. And then we're not actually going to recommend that you do this, but it's fun. It's fun to see.
No, this is definitely not accessible. Because the yellow is the problem.
It's too much fun.
The yellow and the light green. That makes it really hard to read, but it's really pretty.
Yeah. I'm going to drop this link just while we're talking about this. And I want to mention something. So with this approach, the excerpt is still completely, but the full content of your post is still completely hidden from the markup of the page. This is Core Paid Memberships Pro. Only the excerpt is visible. And then the membership required block. I've also seen people ask if they could just put dummy text and do this effect so that even their excerpts were protected. Also possible. And then the link I just brought up is an example of using limit post views, which is the New York Times classic model of actually the content is there in the source of the page most of the time, but visually it's blocked from display. And that's the last article. We're not going to get into this one. It has a lot of setup, and we try to keep these succinct so that the tutorial fits the content very closely. But that's another one to check out if you're using limit post views and want to achieve the same effect. So that's a cool example. Sam,
I thought about that one as well.
Yeah, but that's a big one. We can do it.
Yeah.
Would you switch your theme to 2024 or an equivalent? And we'll just show quick where the CSS can be added for a block theme. We'll be able to put it back. Cool.
I actually don't know where the CSS goes for a block theme, so this is interesting.
So if you click anywhere in the body of this customize your membership site with coding basics and get rid of this helpful tour. On the upper right, do you see the circle that's half black and half white, like a contrast thing? Yeah. And then there's 3 dots. This is very tricky. Oh, there it is. I thought you had to do into the 3 dots, but you don't. You can do it here as well. Yeah. So if you were using a block theme or you didn't have the ability to enter customizer, couldn't figure that out, you would go through the site editor and go this route, and you could add your CSS here. And the same CSS would work. The markup's not any different for the content of the Paid Memberships Pro post.
I think I have it copied, so I can add it there, but I don't have anything on my homepage that would show it.
That's the thing. You're on the homepage and navigating into a post. It's all disconnected. With Customizer, you can navigate around the site really cleanly and play with settings of the site. It's really lovely. It's sad. Me and Jason talk about that a lot. Why Customizer? Where'd you go? Yeah.
So it won't work if I go to like an individual post and add it?
It could work if you're on. You can't edit. You can't get into Customizer or the site editor from here. I would say view this post on the front end. Let's see. It's possible. And then wasn't that left? Okay. Like now, if you go to edit site, I think that it would bring you into the site editor in the context of a single post, but it's just going to give you. It's not going to simulate an actual rendered post.
I would have to save it and then go back to the front end.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, because I changed my theme. That's why my thing looks so weird. Oh, man. I was like, I did all of this work.
It'll come back.
Nope.
I don't know why that's not working.
Did not work.
Should. I can troubleshoot that later. The secret is use a classic theme. There you go. No.
The secret is use Memberlight.
Use Memberlight. There you go. I want to bring up the upcoming events so that we get everyone before you drop and let you know, because there's some cool stuff coming. Oh, you got it. Never mind. I'll put the link here.
Yep.
Awesome.
There you go. So our next open office hours is next Thursday. It's an Ask Me Anything. We still need to confirm if Mary is joining or if we're stopping for Jason. I wasn't clear on that little thread that we had going on. But
surprise guest.
It'll definitely be Kim Coleman, myself, and then a surprise guest. Maybe Mary, maybe Jason. Our next Coding with Sam is going to be March 7th. And fun fact, I'll be streaming from Pennsylvania.
Maybe we'll be side by side. That'd be weird.
We will be side by side. Or maybe in different rooms. But either way, I will be in Pennsylvania. I'll be at the main office. So that'll be fun. And then if you are in the community, there are exclusive community events. You can find all the events on the calendar, but you have to be in the community to get links to join said events. So if you're not in there, like Kim said at the beginning, sign up for a free or higher account on Paymemberships Pro, and then join us in our Slack. And the dates are not here yet, but I do have April through June planned out for you guys. So that is exciting. Cool. So keep your eyes peeled for those topics we revealed.
Very cool. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Coding with Sam. If you liked it to be design focused, give this video a thumbs up. That'll help us see which types of Coding with Sam episodes are more popular than others. I know that designing the membership site is a challenge. We have so much of customizing it under the hood, but the front end stuff we're getting into more, and I want to really deliver more of that for you guys. So if this was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Reach out in the Slack community and say, like, no, I don't, I don't want to look at these CSS ones anymore. It's not my jam. Either way works. Cool. Well, thank you all. I'm going to call it.
Yep. See you next Thursday.